From the Millersville University Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kyle Elliott.
And I'm student meteorologist Peter Corman.
Here with the short-term forecast and video discussion issued on Monday, December 15th. Well, Peter, taking a look out the window, it's cloudy, it's cold, it's brisk, but, it's kind of nice to see that fresh snowpack out there on the ground, isn't it?
Yeah, we ended up with about 3.6 inches from this weekend's system that moved through the region. So all things considered, it's a pretty good snowstorm, especially for early or mid-December standards.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a while.
But taking a look at today's climatology, today's high is forecasted to be 26 degrees, which is about 15 degrees below our normal high of 41. Today's record high of 67 was set in 1929. This morning's low was 16 degrees, which is about 10 degrees below our average low of 25 degrees. And today's record low was 3 degrees set in 1960. Taking a look outside at the Millersville University Skycam, you can see that fresh pack of snow on the ground across the campus and across the sky. It's generally clouded. Clouds have been increasing this morning. And taking a look at the visible satellite imagery, we can see clouds across the region and the mainly cloudy skies, especially here in the lower Susquehanna Valley. Taking a look at the radar, we can see some precipitation returns across the region, though this is not making the ground here. This is what we call Virgo, where the radar will scan precipitation aloft that doesn't make it to the surface due to some dry air. Though later today, we could see some flurries move into the region, mainly say north of the Turnpike between about 3 to 7 p.m. But don't expect much of an impact event. No, we don't really expect any sort of accumulations around here.
And as Peter was saying, as we take a look at the European model for 7 p.m. this evening, you really notice it's not showing any returns here on the surface map. You do see this little tiny speck of blue over Lancaster County. Again, that could indicate there could be some flurries in the air between roughly 3 and 7 p.m. during the afternoon and evening commute. However, I don't expect anything more than a dusting across parts of northern Dauphin or Perry counties. Over 90 to 95% of the region, this snow will be of the non-accumulating variety. So pretty much just a nuisance or really a non-impact event here. Just pretty seasonable for December, get you in the mood for the holiday season. But the good news here is that we're actually going to be moving out of this bitterly cold pattern as we go throughout the rest of the week. And it all kind of stems with this high pressure system over the Carolinas. That system's going to remain in place tomorrow, so it is going to still be quite cold with that lingering pocket of Arctic air over the northeast and southeastern Canada, but you are going to start to notice at least the cold easing a little bit tomorrow. High temperatures should be back in the low to mid 30s under mostly sunny skies, and then you're going to notice a bigger difference on Wednesday as that high pressure system moves into the western Atlantic. On its backside, southwesterly winds of 8 to 16 miles per hour are going to usher milder and more seasonable air back into the lower Susquehanna Valley. In fact, high temperatures should be back in the mid-40s by Wednesday afternoon, so really pretty good considering what we've dealt with over the last couple of weeks. You do notice this cold front draped across southeastern Canada. That's essentially just going to give us a glancing blow of chillier air Wednesday night, but by Thursday afternoon, winds are actually going to be back around to the south again, and so highs should be back in the 40s again on Thursday. So taking a look at the short-term forecast, frigid tonight with decreasing clouds this evening and mainly clear overnight, low 12. Mostly sunny and still quite cold on Tuesday, high 32, but milder and more seasonable on Wednesday with a mix of clouds and sun, high 44. Well, that'll do it for this edition of the short-term forecast. Tune back in next Monday for the latest edition. Until then, bundle up and stay warm out there early this week.